What's up, San Antonio Spurs fans? My name is Indomitable Will, and we are here for week 3 of the MBC. We are taking on Elf Owls and his Newport Noctowls. Between me being sick and unfortunately this audio just not having my mic be detected, we unfortunately have to do post-commentary, and there will be no team builder or intro this week. I'm sorry, and those will come back next week. So, we're kind of doing this a little bit last minute, so we're just going to kind of narrate as we go. No cutting or anything, just completely raw, unfiltered commentary from me. Post-commentary, so not nearly as exciting, but this is what we got to work with this week, unfortunately. So, we're going to get into the battle with Elf Owls. You can see the two teams on your screen. Scary, Spectrier, Sneasler, Excadrill team, Indeedee, Screamtail, and Rotom as the last three. And then we have our Ogerpon, Great Tusk, Thundurus, Primarina, Quillfish, and Scizor. So, basically, Ogerpon, Choice Scarf, Revenge Killer here. Great Tusk is physically defensive with the Covert Cloak to beat Sneasler 1v1. Our Thundurus is Citrus Berry, Sweeper, Primarina's Assault Vest, then Quillfish is specially defensive here to take on the likes of Spectrier and Screamtail. And then finally our Scizor is also Choice Scarf, which we are going to use to try to revenge kill with. So, I'm sorry that the audio is not going to match that of what my face cam is indicating, but that's because our audio was completely lost, and this should not be happening in the future, so we will have it fixed by week 4. Anyway, he's going to lead with Rotom Mow, and I'm going to lead with my Primarina here. However, I do not want to reveal yet that I'm Assault Vest, so I'm going to go straight out into my Thundurus because I know Rotom can't really touch Thundurus. So I send Thundurus out, and he just goes directly for Light Screen. This is a little unfortunate for me, already causing me to play a bit reactively on the first turn. I'm just going to go for Sludge Wave because I want this Rotom gone as soon as possible. And we see him thinking about what he wants to switch into the Thundurus for a little bit. He's behind the light screen, so I'm not doing that much damage to him anyway. I just want to get a Sludge Wave off on something. So in comes the Indeedee. And right away, I'm just going to go for the Sludge Wave, get a little bit of chip on it. Not too much, like a good solid 15 to 20% at max. And I'm going to go straight out into my Quillfish here, because I know I can eat any special hit this thing wants to go for. I do expect Expanding Force to hurt the most, which is why I made the mid-ground into Quillfish rather than going like Scizor or something. So I'm going to go into Quillfish here. Gonna get the Intimidate off. Terra Blast comes out. That's going to do not very much damage to us at all. And I'm just going to fire off a Crunch. As, like I said before, nothing on the team resists it. And he's going to bring out Guacamole, which is his Excadrill. So I'm going to get a nice crunch off into the Excadrill. However, this puts me in the spot where I need to switch. I did get a defense drop, which is nice, but I unfortunately have to switch now. And so I think the smart play is just going into Thunderous, as then Excadrill can't Earthquake me. So he's going to withdraw his Excadrill here and just go out into Decibel, which is the Scream Tail. We're going to withdraw Quillfish and go right out into our Thundurus. Light Screen is still up, notably, so we are going to first, I believe, click Thunderbolt. Yeah, just to gauge damage, how much it's doing behind the Light Screen. He's going to get his Stealth Rock up, which is a little bit annoying for us because our Great Tusk actually does not have Rapid Spin on it this week, so we do not have any form of removal. Okay, I'm going to click Agility. Mostly this is going to stall out a turn of Light Screen, and it's going to make Thundurus faster than any of the threats that want to come in, Sneasler or Spectrier. And, like I said, I'm just stalling out the Light Screen turn. So, I'm gonna go for the Agility on the incoming Excadrill. So now comes the most pivotal turn in the game, because I know Light Screen is up, but I missed this Focus Blast, which that mattered a lot in the long run because, as you can see, I took a massive amount of damage from that Rock Slide. Had I hit that Focus Blast, Excadrill would have been in range of another one. He does end up being the Chople Berry on Excadrill, which we are going to find out later in the match. So, Focus Blast may not have killed, but it would have put Excadrill in the range to where the next hit from Thundurus could have taken it out potentially, which would have been big. And as you see, because he's Terra Flying on the Excadrill, I thought he was maybe going to Terra there because I had shown Focus Blast. He ended up being Chople Berry, so it didn't matter. But because of that miss, we're going to get the 50-50 wrong on the next turn, and our Thunderbolt is not going to connect on the non-Terra Flying Excadrill, and at this point we kind of just have to play on the back foot a little bit. So we're going to go into Great Tusk. This is designed to beat any physical threat thrown at us, so I'm going to go for Ice Spinner on the chance that he Terras here, or on the chance that Rotom comes in, which I believe is more likely here. I really want to punish the Rotom switching in hard, so that's why we went for Ice Spinner. In comes the Scream Tail. We're gonna get a little bit of a chunk on this. Not a whole lot of damage though, because it's a non-stab, non-boosted move. And we're not running a very offensive Great Tusk this week. I'm gonna go back out into my Primarina, as I forget what the Scream Tail does here, but Primarina is the thing that most wants to take a Dazzling Gleam. We are Assault Vest, so anything the Scream Tail wants to go for, Primarina is going to tank pretty easily. He's just going to fire off a Dazzling Gleam. And now, we just get to fire off a Moonblast. The Light Screen is still up, so it's not going to do a whole lot of damage to whatever comes in. However, Excadrill is the only Fairy Resist on his entire team, so... And we are a fully specially offensive Primarina, so I just want to fire off big damage into something here. And we see the Indeedee come out. We're just gonna fire off a Moonblast into it. That's gonna do a bunch of damage. And now we're just gonna surf into the Indeedee here. We should be taking the Indeedee out, as Surf is gonna do even more damage than the Moonblast did. Expanding Force, that's fine. It's not gonna do a whole lot because we are Assault Vest. And we're just gonna take the Indeedee out here. In comes the Sneasler, which our Great Tusk is built to take on Sneasler, so definitely gonna want to switch Primarina out here into the Sneasler, or into the Great Tusk rather. I know that this thing has acrobatics, and I was always like positioned to live in acrobatics from Sneasler on the Great Tusk. Like, even if he goes for Swords Dance here, I should always live a +2 acrobatics, just based on the EVs, but now we see a Dire Claw come out, and it's not going to do anything to me. I'm just going to fire off an Ice Spinner, because I expect the Rotom Mow to come in here. So he is going to withdraw the Sneasler, which means the Unburden boost is gone. Into the Rotom, and we're just going to fire off a powerful Ice Spinner into it. It's not going to do a whole lot of damage though, which means this Rotom is effectively very Fizz-Def, which I think he's going to use this opportunity to get his Reflect up, which is a little bit unfortunate because a lot of our team is physical. I don't want to eat a Leaf Storm, so I'm just going to go out into my Quillfish here. As, yeah, he's just going to get the Reflect up. I do worry about the Excadrill just getting to come in here for free. I think I'm just going to fire off another Crunch. Yeah, he gets a Volt Switch off. into the Excadrill he goes, and this Crunch is not going to do a whole lot of damage here because the Reflect is now up. And that is a Light Clay Reflect, so we have to be a bit careful here. I'm just going to go into my Ogerpon, thinking this is the turn where I can just Revenge Kill the Excadrill. However, this is the turn where I make my massive blunder of the game, and this is the turn where I've basically lost the game. Like, before when Thundurus was out, I was still somewhat in it, but this turn right here, I believe is where I lost the game. So, I'm gonna send in Ogerpon thinking, hey, this is the only thing on my team that can reasonably take an Earthquake. As I didn't want to go into Scizor yet, revealing that I'm Scarf. And we see he is going to Terra Flying here, which, admittedly, that's not great for me. Because now my Ogerpon's just going to go down here from the Terra Blast Flying, and Ogerpon was kind of my bailout button. So, yeah, now that we don't have that, Excadrill and Spectrier become a whole lot bigger of issues than they already were previously, so we're just gonna go out into Scizor. And we're gonna click Knockoff, just get rid of this thing's item. He will, it will be revealed that I'm Choice Scarf here, which isn't the greatest, but at this point, we're playing from so far behind that we just have to do what we can to get the kill. So we're gonna knock off, we're gonna get rid of the Chople Berry, and we're just gonna have to take an Earthquake to the face. We're just gonna go for another knockoff, and it doesn't even take it out. And Excadrill's gonna just finish me off here. And yeah, this is pretty much game over. I do believe that Great Tusk is in a position to where it can take out Excadrill, but only Excadrill can be taken out from this range. So, yeah. Great Tusk still being relatively healthy is solid for us, but losing Ogerpon really was the difference maker. I just got outplayed here is really all I can say. If I still had Ogerpon alive and would have sacked the Quillfish, I still had a very reasonable shot to get back into this game. But now, even though we take out the Excadrill, here we just cannot win anymore. So, in hindsight, like, I should have played the Thundurus a little bit differently. I should have just gone for Focus Blast again, even though there was still a chance of me missing. I feel like that was the better play, and not letting Thundurus go down. And then, like, in hindsight, I probably should have went Scizor on the Excadrill. But hindsight is 20/20. We're just gonna see Great Tusk come in, and here comes the Spectrier. And yeah, all of our Pokemon are like at half health now, and Spectrier's just gonna end up cleaning up the game. as he's just going to go for a Calm Mind here, as I'm going to switch in my Assault as Primarina. I'm just trying to force as much damage on this thing as possible. So I'm just going to go for the Moonblast. In hindsight, I probably should have went for the Surf. It would have done more damage. But at this point, I've kind of just accepted that I lost. But maybe if I went for Surf, I could have gotten more differential. That's the problem with me having used Primarina this season. Is every week I bring Torrent, I just end up clicking Moonblast instead of Surf when I need to be clicking Surf. So the Surf would have put the Spectrier in range of the Quillfish. So I kind of wish I Surfed there, but we do see the Spectrier get a boost here, which means Quillfish is going to come in. Quillfish has already taken a huge amount of damage. However, because I'm specially defensive, I believe I can live. So we are going to throw a Hail Mary play here and go for the Pain Split, because I'm not sure if he can take me out, and like if I get all that health back, I can just haze and Quillfish can kind of take over the game from here. It can't beat Sneasler, but this is like my last Hail Mary. This is the last ditch effort to try to win this game for me. So this is what I need to go for. And he's just gonna taunt me, which was a really good play. Like, I can't knock him for that. Like, that just stopped my Hail Mary completely. And as you can see, that he's +2, and that Draining Kiss is not actually gonna take me out. However, it is going to recover him back to where a Crunch would not kill him. So if I would have actually clicked Surf, that might have been the entire difference maker. I should have Surfed into Crunch, but now the weakness policy is going to happen. And yeah, if I clicked Surf with the Primarina and then immediately tried to Crunch, I could have maybe killed the Spectrier, but Spectrier is just going to pick me off here. Because it was weakness policy, it's just going to absolutely destroy both Quillfish and Great Tusk here, and I'm going to lose this game 4-0. So, yeah, a little unfortunate loss, but, you know, is what it is. Like, I've just reflected on what I could have done differently here, and yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed, and hopefully we will bring you a win next week when we take on who in the Manshine City Necrozmas.